Hey everybody. I know I'm really long overdue for a video, but freight has really picked up and I've been super fucking busy. Really fucking busy. Like, God. Thank God I get to go home. I'm going home after I'm done with this trainee. This trainee's got about a week left. And then I'm gonna go home, but I gotta be home for a week, move out of my house, and I got a whole bunch of shit I gotta take care of. But I got plane tickets scheduled and everything, all my reservations in place. But yeah, thank God I'm gonna take an entire week off, and at least one or two of them days I'm just gonna be hanging out, drinking a lot of beer, stuff like that. And then I was thinking about, after I go home, I was thinking about going to another company. I kind of had it all set up and I had it pre-approved, but I hadn't made the final decision on it yet. And then I was just kind of thinking about things. And then I think what I figured is I don't want to stay out here on the road any longer than I really have to. Not just based on experience, but also based on finances. Because there's good money out here on the road. Even if you're running solo, it's good money, and you got to factor in things like the fuel costs. Like, when you're doing this gig, you're not putting money in your car, your pickup truck every day and going to work and commuting and shit like that. And fuel, in the city of Houston, typically you got a nice commute. Could be a half hour, now round trip, it's usually anywhere from an hour to 3-4 hours a day you spend commuting in major city. And you fill up once or twice a week depending on what you drive. Fuel's a big expense, so you save a lot of money staying out here on the road. Not to mention the lease is up, on me and my ex's house, beginning of July. I gotta pay my last rent payment like beginning of June. Gotta pay for a few more things, but then after that, got no rent, no utilities, none of that shit. All those bills are gone. So I'm gonna have so much more income that I can pay off some debts and save up some money and stuff like that. So I think what I'm gonna do is, go be gone for a week. I'm gonna come back here to Western, and I'm gonna stay with Western. Probably, hopefully, no longer than like 4 months. Which would give me like 14 months on the road, and I think I can have the money I need to finally. I got some credit things I got to take care of, but I also got to save up some money and things like that. I just got a lot of financial things I got to take care of. And staying out here for a couple months is really going to help that. Now, if I did go to the other company I wanted to go to, I would be making more per mile. Yeah, that's true. It's better equipment, it's better company. But then, a couple things started to occur to me is, yeah, they've got great benefits, but also it's a very exclusive company. And although I've been pre-approved for them, that doesn't mean fucking anything. You still got to get through their orientation. And when a company is exclusive as they are, I might not make it through orientation. Now, I don't know why I wouldn't make it through orientation, but I'm not the one that decides whether I get to make it or not. I'll pass the background checks, and I should pass the physical and the drug test and all that shit. But you never know. I could get in there and they say, "Oh yeah, you had this speeding ticket you didn't tell us about." I was like, "Oh, well, I fucking forgot. I don't remember every ticket I've ever got." I did my best to remember, because they want to know all the tickets you've got they want to know everything you've ever done, criminal or otherwise. even if it's not on your fucking record. And although I did my best to tell them everything I could remember, I mean, some shit you forget. It's like, oh yeah, I got that one ticket for running a red light. Well, I didn't really run a red light, but it's not the way the cops saw it. You never know. But my point is, if I quit this company and I rent a car and I put all my stuff in a rental car and I drive back to Houston and then I go up and I go to the orientation of this company, if I don't make it, if they don't hire me, then I just have to go straight back to Western anyway, or drop back and punt and find another company. And and that's one thing that I don't like changing jobs. Changing jobs is kind of like, it's like changing relationships. It's a big thing. Leaving a job, like, I don't take it lightly, and you shouldn't. I feel like, if you don't spend enough time at a certain company, I like to have a good resume, for one. I like to have a good work history. I like to have a good rapport with every company I leave, and so far I have. Every company I've ever left, except for a restaurant when I was a teenager, just because, it's a restaurant. You're just a dime a dozen to them, You quit them, they're not begging you to fucking stay. But every other company I've left, they more or less did beg me to stay. They offered me money and, stuff like that. And that's good. That's what I want. I hate to leave companies, and they're just like, fuck, are you sure you don't want to stay? We really need you around here. I'm just like, well, I hate to do it, but yeah, I'm going to leave. But that's how you want to leave. You want them to be trying to throw money at you. And sometimes that's the best and easiest way to make more money, is either tell them you're going to leave and see if they offer you any more, or just move on and go to another company that's going to pay you more anyway. That's you work at the same company for 30 fucking years. Your pay is going to go up, or as it's supposed to, it should, but not as much as if you jump around. I mean, it's how it is. You've got to move on to another company, like, that they need your services more. They're going to pay you more. But my point is, if I go to another company, I got to start out with a whole other DM. Some guy I don't know. I don't know if my other, I don't know if they're going to be any good. I could get a fucking retard for a DM. You never know. But then you also got a whole new set of rules and policies you gotta learn and deal with and shit like that. And although, yeah, I would be making good money solo, I'm not gonna be making as much running solo here as I would for that company. No. But I can also, I'm a trainer with this, I'm a certified trainer, whatever the fuck. I could train whenever I want. Now, when I come back, I'd like to run solo for at least a month. I've been through 4 trainees, and I'm ready to take some time off. Like training during the day, and going through shippers and receivers, and keeping an eye on the trainees driving, and then trying to cram as much sleep as I can in before the trainee runs out of time, and then I gotta drive till the sun comes up, and then try to get some sleep while the truck is driving. But then we got to deliver and deal with that stuff, and I make sure the trainee's doing everything right. And if we're going through a sketchy road, every time the brakes are hit too hard, I gotta, like, what's going on? If I think we're turning too much, I figure out, make sure we're going in the right direction. It's shit like that. You don't just get to stop at the end of the day and just turn the TV on and fucking relax, So, I think I'm gonna just go solo for a little, just take some time off from training, for as long as I can, honestly. Like, my DM, he feeds me as many miles as I can possibly handle. He gets me nice long loads, and I've got a really good rapport with him. He keeps me well fed, always. And when I get to the point, if I feel like I want to train for another month or two or something like that, I probably will, because it's not a whole bunch extra money, but it's pretty good money. Like solo, I'll average about $1,000 a week take home. That's me though. Just, I've been here for going on a year. I'm not saying your experience may differ, but with a trainee on the truck, I average about $1,400 a week, including the trainee bonus. If you add in my training bonus that I get, which is not that great, but if you add that in, I average about $1,400 a week. So that's a $1,600 a month take home difference. $1,600 a month for training. So basically, when I train, every month is an additional $1,600. It's good money, but fuck, it just wears on you so much, So yeah, that's what I think I'm gonna do. I'll probably just stay here for a while until I've got everything, all my ducks in a row, and I'm finally ready to go home. I'm used to this company. I'm already set up in a truck, and I've already, got the experience. And I know everything I need to know about this company. I've got it down. There's, in my opinion, there's something to be said about that. All the little ins and outs and silly bullshit and rules and stuff like that. Stuff you have to do, stuff you can get away with. You go to a new company, you have all these. Oh well, in my old company, I couldn't do that. Oh, in my old company, I used to be able to do that, but I guess I can't here. You got to go through all that shit. So I think I'm just gonna stay. I don't even know what kind of raise I'll be here over a year. I don't know what my raise is gonna be like. They'll probably give me like a cent per mile or some silly shenanigans like that. But whatever. I don't give a fuck. I figure I'll just stay here. Screw it. I'm just so used to it. And instead of jumping from, and look, like I said, I only want to be out. I don't want to be out here till winter. I want to be back home off of the road by next fall. That's what that's my goal. So if I went to another company, I would only be there for maybe 4 to 6 months, and I'd only have 10 months at this company. So why not just have 14 to 16 months at another company, or 18 months or something like that? I suck at math. But no, I'm just gonna stay here. Screw it. I'm already used to it. It's whatever. Somebody has mentioned something about vaping. Maybe you should try vaping instead. I actually did try it for a little while. When I had my service technician job, just because there's a lot of buildings I'd work at when I was doing a lot of computer work and software bullshit at the time. That way I could stay and keep doing computer work rather than go outside and smoke. But I will say that it is kind of a good placebo, and you do get, it has nicotine in it, and you do get some of the nicotine fix. So basically, like, when I vaped for like a little while, maybe like a month or two, I still smoked here and there, but I was trying to see, how if I would like to vape, vaporizers at all. And what I found out, it was just like, it didn't make me not want to smoke. It just made it so that I could go a little bit longer without wanting a cigarette. And maybe I didn't have the most expensive vaporizers. I just kind of had like a starter kit, just a decent little starter kit with some liquids and stuff like that. So it was okay. It just really wasn't my cup of tea, and look, I plan to quit one day, but look, first of all, I'm an addict that comes from a long line of addicts, right? And I know I'm gonna have to quit one day. There's no getting around that. But once I get to that point, I probably will just straight switch to vaporizers, But for now, like, I enjoy smoking too much, and you're not gonna be able to quit something that you still like doing. There's no way. It's just, you only quit something when you want to fucking quit, and I really don't want to quit smoking. So But, you know, and I don't plan to have kids for a certain number of years. You know, I got plenty of time before I get to that point. So probably when, you know, I'm in my early 30s maybe, and I got some kids running around, that's the point of probably when I'm just gonna have to fucking quit, you know. So, but yeah, that's how I am on the vaporizers. It wasn't really my thing. You know, maybe I'll revisit. You know, now they got all the different kinds of vaporizers out now and stuff like that. I'll revisit it later on down the road. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I brought this up. Yeah, my truck. I did get my truck out the shop. It took them a total of 3 days to fix the fucking thing. And they had to do an alignment on it, and I tried to tell them while they were waiting on this stupid part to come in, why don't you guys just go ahead and do the alignment? You've already done the PM, you've done everything else, you just need to slap on this wheel sensor. Why don't you just go ahead and align the truck? They said, oh, well, if they haven't aligned it yet, I'm sure there's a reason why, or whatever. That's just some bullshit answer. Like, you know, I used to do plenty of alignments at the shop I used to work at, and the only reason why we wouldn't perform an alignment is if it's waiting on a suspension part, or there's still some suspension work to do on it. Other than that, you could just go ahead and align the thing. You know, it's the easiest thing to get out of the way while you're waiting on other parts and stuff. Do everything you possibly can on a vehicle, and then if you're waiting on a part, you know, have it on a lift. If you're waiting on a wheel sensor, hub, or something like that, have it on a lift, jacked up, with that wheel off, that part removed, and it's ready for the new part to go right in. You know, that's how we used to do it. But what do I know? I've never worked on heavy-duty diesels, so, you know, maybe there's some kind of science behind it I don't understand, you know. But they finally fixed the sensor, and then Friday morning, like, they fixed it Thursday night, and then they told me, oh, we can't finish it till Friday morning because it's got to get aligned, but we can't align it till Friday morning. Which I was like, all right, whatever. It took them 5-6 hours to align it, and I got it back, and the alignment is even worse than when it went in. Like, the wheel alignment is still, I feel it pulls it to the right just as much, but now my steering wheel, which was misaligned before, is even more misaligned. So when you're driving straight down the freeway, the steering wheel is turned 45 degrees counterclockwise. Like, I can't even see my speed. I have to, like, look over here to see my speedometer because it's so crooked. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, and I'm gonna talk to the yard. I'm gonna talk to the shop, and I'm gonna talk to the yard about it and tell them, look, you guys paid them $300 some odd dollars to align it, and it's worse than when it went in. And it, you know, so whatever, wasted my time, wasted your money. So I don't know. I don't think I'm a fan of that place. I just told him, I said, just in the future, please, if you can, run all my PMs through the Nashville yard. And my DM said that, not a problem, dude. We could do that, you know. But yeah, I finally got the truck back, you know. And other than that, somebody asked what makes flatbedding harder than, I guess, driving van or reefer or whatever. Van, reefer, same thing. And I did answer the question, but I figured I might as well touch on it in the video anyway. The difference is, you know, I only have a limited knowledge about van, but I've hauled some van, and I have an understanding of hauling van, which in hauling reefer, as far as I'm concerned. You know, van, you get to do a lot of drop and hook, especially if you're with a large company like us. Schneider, Werner, Swift, Western, a lot of the big Averitt and all them companies, they got lots of trailers, so they get lots of drop and hook freight. We may ours. You get with a van outfit that's like 95% drop and hook. Flatbed is maybe 10-20% drop and hook, if that. You may haul the same trailer for like 6 weeks without ever dropping it. And then the week after that, you may drop and hook 5 or 6 trailers. It's just random, you know? So it's not a lot of drop and hook freight, which means, you know, you don't get to just pick up preloaded trailers very often. But I mean, the whole securement aspect. A lot of people get chased away from flatbedding, and is because it's not the most physical job, but that's coming from a guy who worked construction for several years. And construction for me was a lot more physical, a lot of climbing ladders and stuff like that. But strapping and strapping loads isn't that bad. But when you gotta like haul all the chains out, you're chaining loads and stuff like that, it's not just the securement and tarping, because tarping can wear you out. Think about I've spent up to 4 hours securing and tarping a load that was really difficult, like several different loads that were difficult. And you got to figure you're doing that in the weather. It could be hot as hell outside, snow and ice, freezing cold, freezing rain, just regular rain. It could be in the middle of the night, it could be dark, no light. That's the kind of stuff you got. I've showed up to receivers to unload, and I had to fold up the tarps in windstorms, and they're like fucking parachutes. They're flying all over the place, and it's just, it comes with the territory. Or it's soaking wet, or it's freezing rain, and the tarps are starting to ice up and get stiff, and you got to roll them up, and you got to get soaking wet. I've had, like, we were up in the Northeast, and it was raining for like an entire week. And we had to pick up and deliver, like, in the rain, consecutive days, We were just getting fucking soaking wet, And then you got to get in the truck, you got to change clothes because you're soaking wet, It comes with flatbedding, but it's stuff like that. It's not... You don't have as much downtime. You spend more time screwing around with loads, stuff like that. It's just, there's possibilities for injury. Sometimes you'll have to stand on a load that's 13 6. Sometimes you have to stand on an icy trailer. Sometimes you'll fuck your hands up. You'll screw up your ankles. You'll misstep. I've fallen off a trailer before. Hit my leg and tore my pants, and lost my footing, and stuff like that happens. Securing chains with the load bar. I've hit myself in the nuts. I've hit myself in the shins. I've hit myself in the arm. It comes with the territory. You're gonna hurt yourself. You always wear gloves. Like, I wear thick leather gloves, but and you're doing all that in the weather. You're gonna sweat your ass off. You're gonna freeze your ass off. You're gonna get soaking wet. Sometimes you might even get fucking sunburned. It's you gotta deal with the elements. It could be a lot of mosquitoes. Mud's a big one. You might have to be trudging around in the mud and stuff like that, and then you get in your truck, there's mud tracked in here, dirt tracked in here, all kinds of nasty stuff. It is what it is. Your clothes will get covered in rust. Fiberglass will get on the tarps from hauling fiberboard and shit like that. You'll have fiberglass on your arms and dirt. You'll be greasy and nasty. It does become a dirty job. There's dust in here like crazy. It's a dusty job. That's one of the reasons why. You got to hump a 130-pound tarp up onto the trailer, and sometimes you got to climb up onto the load and get it up there, and it can be taxing at times. I like it. I think hauling vans boring as shit. I think it's super boring. I'll do it every so often, just a little change of pace, but I would not want to do it full time. Wouldn't want to do it. But that's that. I need to wrap this video up. I'm not sure. Look, I mean, I keep saying this over and over and over and over, but if you don't like smoking or watching someone smoke or curse words and stuff like that, don't watch my videos, because that's what I do. I don't do it for the camera. I don't have a pack of cigarettes here just for when I make a fucking video. I buy a carton a week and I smoke roughly a pack a day. Sometimes more on the weekends when, I'm on a reset or whatever. Sometimes I'll smoke a pack and a half a day if I have a long day. I smoke. I'm a smoker. I smoke when I'm making the videos because I'm hanging out, And as far as the cussing goes, if you want to say I'm from a trailer park, you want to say it's all just an act, I don't really curse. I just do it for the video. Like, first of all, you don't fucking know me. So how in the fuck would you know if it's an act or not? So, but second of all, this is how I really talk. I mean, I'll tone it down around children and like my mom and stuff like that, or if I'm in like a restaurant, and I'll turn the volume down or something like that. But if I'm at work, or I'm around my friends, or I'm around somewhere there's no children, or if I'm in a bar or anywhere like that, this is how I talk. Pretty much all the time. Now I do curse a bit more when I'm fucking tired, that's for sure, but that's just a mental thing, So, look, I don't know when I just, used to be, back in the day, you could smoke a cigarette and there was people that didn't smoke and they were just like, oh, those people smoke, I don't. They want to, it's okay, I don't want to. Now it's like, oh, my nasal passages are offended by the carcinogens of tobacco smoke. Like, people can't even smell it, they freak the fuck out, and now, people can't even watch a video on YouTube without getting offended by the sight of someone smoking. Like, just you seeing someone smoking, you're fucking offended? Really? Like, when did everyone get so fucking offended by everything now? America is so fucked up right these days, I'm only 26 and I can tell you that. Why does everyone get so fucking offended? Everything, I'm offended by this, I'm offended by that, Like, don't be such a pussy. It's just, if I was smoking and you were in the truck, look, if you really knew me, I'm the guy. If I don't know you all that well, I don't know your preferences. If I get in a vehicle with you or you get in my truck, I'll ask you, hey, do you mind if I smoke a cigarette? And because some people, like some guys I used to work with, they're just like, man, would it be okay if you wait? Like, yeah, I can wait till you get out of the truck. It's fine, or whatever, I'll ask people, I don't want to smoke in someone's face that doesn't want to smell it. But as far as you watching a video of me smoking, I don't give a fuck if you see me smoking or not, Turn off the video. But no, you gotta get in there and leave your fucking 2 cents. Excuse me, sir, I'm offended by your profane language. Like, fuck you. Go find another person's videos to watch that's way more PG. Alright, motherfucker? Because this is fucking rated R, alright? And it ain't for you. It's for me and it's for the other motherfuckers watching this shit that don't give a fuck if I say fuck or not, alright? It ain't for you, alright? Once you go over to, clear me off of YouTube, go to the top and click in funny pictures of kitty cats and watch that shit, alright? Because I guarantee there's probably no cuss words in that. Probably more suited to your tastes. But, fuck you. That's all I gotta say to you motherfuckers. That's it. That's all I want to say. That's all this video ran long, but I've been overdue for a video, so here's a half-hour video to make up for all the time I haven't been making videos. I've just been so tired. I've been running around, like, we've been from goddamn, the Midwest to California, up to Denver, down to Texas, back to Georgia, back to Texas, ran around Texas for a couple days. Now we're coming out of Texas. I'm in Barstow, California right now. So we've been running. This turned over, this is going to be a 4,600 mile week, which is, I've done better, but it's a good week. I'm not going to complain about 4,600 miles at all. Anything over 4,000 miles in a week, running with a trainee, I'm cool with that. It's when I get 3,000 miles and I'm like, what the fuck? I could have run that by myself. But I've been busy, so I'm going to try to make more. So I'll make another one pretty soon. Talking about some more shit. But alright, that's it for now. I will talk to you guys really soon.